go out. Spend all day long chasing a Pokemon. People getting in car wrecks, running into buildings, bumping into each other, trying to find a Pokemon. We're living in a generation to where they are ascribing to music that's saying absolutely nothing. The most famous songs come from the artists that don't have 3 words they can put together. All they got to do is find a good producer, make a really good beat, and get on the track. Ooh, I tell you, I'm coming down around the town. And all the kids will be, all the kids will be, all the kids will be, slipping away, and we are watching the resurgence of ungodliness right before our very eyes. The enemy is able to come in like this because he realizes we are sleeping giants. One of you, just one of you, has enough power to put 1,000 to flight. Just one of you. Just one of you, but 2 of you. See, God does that fuzzy man. The 2 of you get together. The enemy's really in trouble. But he knows we are sleeping giants, and he realized the best way to beat a sleeping giant is not to wake him up. Play to his ego. Play to his emotions. Have him stay in the fleshly realm, but don't preach to his spirit. See, that's why we're heaping together preachers to preach to our itching ears. Tell me how good I am. Tell me how wonderful I am. Tell me my blessing is right around the corner. And now we're finding that the enemy's been able to keep us asleep. You see, you keep someone asleep by playing melodies in their ear that won't wake them up. You see, y'all were happy when I was talking about the kids, but now let me get in your record collection. There's a method to the madness. We have some of us that are still can't listen to Al Green. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Some of you now, if I played September, you quicken right in church. Because you'll remember when. Tell your neighbor, it didn't start with the hip hop. We've been asleep for a long time. We have fully professing Holy Ghost filled believers that still have record collections from back in the day. And if you dare say something about Prince, they'll run you out the church. Give me a few more minutes, I'll be done. But we're finding that a house divided against itself cannot stand. There's no way you can listen to that mess all week and then come into the house of the Lord on Sunday morning and expect to invoke the presence of God. God said, no, don't try to get me now. Where were you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and my amen is going down. My amens have depleted. Lord Jesus, what happened to my amens? Y'all were doing good when I was talking about the hip hop. You can't live and listen to the devil's music and strive to his ways and then come into church on Sunday morning. I don't care how good you can hoop. I don't care how good you can sing. I don't care how good you can usher. I don't care how good you can deacon. A kingdom that's divided against itself will not be able. Tap your neighbor, say, we got to get the devil out of the church. We got to get the devil out of the church. We got to clean out some record collections. We got to clean out some laptops. We got to clean out some closets. We got to pull the magazines out. Throw them in the trash can. We need to have revival in the church. I don't know if y'all called me for this, praise God. Revival starts on your knees. Revival don't stop with calling preachers in. Because if you are not revived before they come, you're not going to be revived after. Oh God. Oh. All right, let me. It's time to bring the word back. Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Your soul believes the words you say. Listen to me. Your soul tries to become what you say. So the enemy's been able to trick us into speaking death than looking for life. Watch this. Whenever you begin to say, my head is killing me, you just surrounded yourself with death. Whenever you say, she's getting on my you go last. Somebody can get on your nerve, but it's not until they get on your. That means that anything else that happened, I'm not even responsible for what I do. And your soul is in a battle, a confusing battle, and that your soul knows the power that you have when you speak. But when you begin to speak death, I hate my job. I'm so tired. I wish they would fall off the earth and die. When you're saying that, how can you expect for life to occur? And now on social media, they have these saying that when something is really funny, they say, I'm dead. I mean, they laugh so hard until they're dead. Even in church, we have saying, when somebody sing really good, we say they killing it.
Yes. Nonsense.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? The enemy's been able to confuse us with the words that are coming out of our mouths. And we're not speaking the word, we're speaking what the world is saying. So when you say you're a loser, or you allow somebody else to call you a loser without saying, hold up, wait a minute, I know you didn't mean what you just said. Never allow anybody to call you what God has not called you. Okay, let me. My last point, and I'm going to get out of your way. It's time to take a stand. Quite simply put, it's time to take a stand. It's time to rouse ourselves to reality and take a stand. When the enemy senses you're about to stand up, he sends his attacks against you. You will notice an increase in warfare when you finally decide to do what thus saith the Lord. Just know that when he comes after you, you don't have to argue with him. You don't have to go word for word. If you're going to say anything to the adversary, make sure that it is the word of God. He don't mind you dialing up 1-800-CRY-BABY. He don't mind you crying and fussing with him, man, because that fuels his fire. But if you find in the word the answer to what you're going through, and you hold that word in the midst of that trouble, if you resist the enemy, he has to flee from you. The feeling of breakdown oftentimes comes before the season of breakthrough. That when you are feeling at your lowest, it's really that God is about to pull you and shoot you out further than you ever thought you could go. Amen. You ought to just tell your neighbor, go get your life back. Go get your life back. It belongs to you. That God type of life. You see, God pre-approved your rejection on every level. He predestined your steps so that you wouldn't go past the deprivation of the hog pen. He prepared a way of escape that you might be able to bear every temptation when it came. He preempted every strike the enemy sent your way, and that he knew that you would be able to take it. He prescribed a level of intensity for the pain that you're going through, and he already has your medication prepared before the pain ever hit. That when the enemy wants to destroy you, you got to know that weeping may endure for a night, but joy, my brothers and sisters, joy, my brothers and sisters, joy is going to come in the morning. If you're really ready to wake up, you got to take the limits off of God. You got to take the limits off. Don't limit to what you think God can and can't do. If it's got a name, he's got a name.
Come on. Jesus.
You got trouble in your way.
Yes.
He can move it out of your way.
Yes.
Let me close with this. I'm reminded of Lazarus. When Jesus needed somewhere to go in Bethany, he would stay at the house of Lazarus. They were his comfort zone, his resting place. So when he found out that Lazarus was sick, he tarried just a little bit longer. He could have come and rescued him. In fact, he could have spoken the word.
Amen.
Right? He had so much power, he could have spoken the word.
Amen.
And healed Brother Lazarus.
Yes.
But he loved him enough to be late.
Yes.
My God. All right. My God. Hallelujah.
That even in his death
My God.
was for the glory of God. Because everybody had limits on him.
Yes.
Even the people he went to stay with, Mary and Martha, had limits on him. So if you had come, you could have saved him.
Yes.
She didn't realize he was the resurrection. And he had to allow Brother Lazarus to die and go in the grave because he had to show everybody how powerful he really is. So they're at the grave of Lazarus has been dead for some time now. And he had to be dead past 3 days for the Pharisees and the Sadducees, because they had a sect that believed that the spirit didn't leave the body until after the 3rd day. Right. So he had to lay in the grave long enough for the Sadducees and the Pharisees and everybody to follow him to the grave. Because everybody had limits on what he could do. So when he got to the grave, he had to be strategic, even in the way that he called Brother Lazarus out of the grave. And if he had just said, "Come forth," everything up in that mountain, good God Almighty, every dead body in that mountain, whether they had been dead for a day or they had been dead for 25 days, once they heard the voice of the Lord, everything up in there would have come rattling out of the grave. So he had to say, "Lazarus, come forth." And the first thing he did after he brought Lazarus out of the grave was told them to loose him and let him go. Even in the death of Lazarus was to show forth the glory of God. And he had to wake his people up to who he really was. To who he really was. And that there is no limit once God is in it. And it's time, my brothers and sisters, for the church to wake up. Simply wake up. There was this little boy and his dad. His dad wrote a book for him, and he gave it to the little boy to read. The little boy started reading the book, and he had this disgruntled, discouraged look on his face. The father wrote the book, so the father knew what was in the book. But the son, going through the pages, got discouraged. But the father didn't say a word. But the father was trying to teach him a lesson, so the father walked out of the room. And the little boy, as soon as he saw his dad walk out of the room, quickly turned to the back of the book. So when his dad strategically walked back in, he turned the page back to where he was. So now, as the little boy is reading, his countenance has changed. Now he's rejoicing, even though the guy in the book is still losing. See, the father knew the story because he wrote it. And he said, well, son, what happened? What changed? Why are you happy now? You were sad just a few minutes ago. He said, Dad, I can't lie. I was discouraged because the person in the book seemed like they were just losing every single battle they were in. And it never seemed like they were going to win. So I couldn't take it anymore. When you walked out, I turned to the back of the book. And I saw in the back of the book that he finally won. So I was able, when you came back, to turn back to where I was. But now I have a confidence because I already know the end of the story. I already know that he might be losing now, but by the time he gets to the end of the book, he's going to stand victorious. My brothers and sisters, I don't know what you're going through right now. You might be losing every single battle, but I want to challenge you. Turn to the back of the book. It says in the back of the book that we win. When you finally get the word that you are more than an overcomer, you are a conqueror. You can do all things through Christ. That is your strength. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Let me help you. I've been young, but now I'm old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor the seed begging bread. You want to just hold on, just for a little while longer. Your help is on the way. Turn to the back of the book, and you will find, in the end, you're going to win. God can do everything but fail. If you really believe God can do everything but fail, you can go back in the face of your trial, in the face of your adversity, stand flat-footed, stick your chest out, and say, I may be down now, but sooner or later I'm going to get up from this. Sooner or later I'm going to wake up from this. This momentary affliction is but for a moment, but greater is coming, because greater is in you than he that's in the world. Amen. I spent all that time simply to tell you, wake up. Amen. Tap your neighbor, say, wake up. Amen. Tap your other neighbor, say, wake on up. Wake up. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. Thank you for your time. God bless.